Hey y'all, what's good? Welcome to Wake Up with Love. I am so glad you chose to start your morning with us today. This is a sacred space cultivated with spirit, heart, and purpose, designed to support you in becoming the greatest expression of the massive blessing you came into this world to be. So let's get into it.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wake Up with Love. This is Betsy. I am here in Asheville, North Carolina, holding it down while the one and only Love Batista is on the road, taking the GIG mission across the country. And we got Love here with us. Love, are you there?
I'm here. What is good, people?
We are live.
Thank you for the beautiful introduction. Yes, on purpose, on mission this morning, but inspired to share the word around unlocking our gifts. I'm driving through the night, and I'm really realizing that I think there's a few misconceptions that create a lot of havoc in people's lives. And I want to really go through them today and actually give some concrete how-tos, some simple but effective how-tos to kind of break the cycle and unlock those gifts. So beautiful people, this is for the people that have a dream. This is for the people that are on a mission. These are for people that know that this world can look so different than the one that we were given. The one that we can give away can be so much more beautiful than the one we were given. This conversation is for the people that are thinking for the next 7 generations. These are for the people that love to serve people that serve people. These are for the people that know there's so much more to them that the world has yet to see. There's so much more goodness. There's so much more richness. There's so much more uniqueness. There's so much more generosity inside of them. And that they know that if they could find a way to unlock all of the beauty within them, not only would they get to experience the massive blessing they came into this world to be, but the world around them would be uplifted as well. Their family, their community, and the entire world. And here at GIG, Goodness in Action Global Initiatives, our mission, our movement is to help good people make a good life doing good things for the glory of the good of all. We're calling it the Righteous 5G, and we're on a mission to bring it to the world, and we're calling in those people that are already on that mission. This is not an enrollment conversation. We're calling on the people that are already in the trenches on the mission, and we're saying, hey, why don't we do it together? Why don't I get your back, you get my back? Why don't you share with me what you've learned? I'll share with you what I've learned, and together we're going to create a force for good like nothing seen yet. Because we came here to do it together. We're meant to do it together. So let's get into it, people. Unlocking your gifts. So the first thing that I think that bumps people up or shackles people is that a gift in its nature is meant to be given. And I feel like sometimes we get so wrapped up in how the gift is wrapped. Is the gift ready? Is it shiny? Did we buff it enough? Did we prepare it enough? Can we speak about it clear enough? Does it look pretty enough? Is it packaged? All of these things that become bigger than the fact that a gift is meant to be given, and that there are people that are ready for your gift. I heard somebody say one time that I don't want to give my gift half-baked. And what I want to tell you, for a raw vegan, you cooked it too much already. They would have had it raw. They're not waiting for it to be perfect. They're waiting for it to be useful. And if you found something that's been useful for you, I promise you there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that it will be useful for as well. And you can fully bake it together. You can fully create it together. Somebody may actually be holding the ingredient that is the thing that's been making you bang your head against the wall in your kitchen, trying to get it ready for the world. So that's the first thing, people. Please relinquish the idea that you have to bring it to a certain place. Please relinquish the idea that it has to be perfect. And try and breathe into the idea that good enough is good enough. If you found value, it'll be value to someone else. And it is rich. And when you hand it to someone and you see their eyes light up, I remember one time I went to a soup kitchen and I was working on a ministry, and everyone was behind the counter, kind of standing separate from the people. And I was like, nah, man, I didn't come this far to have a buffet stand between me and you. So I went and sat down. I started sitting down, and they were cracking me up. And at the end of the conversation, one of the gentlemen was talking about how he loved milk. And so before we left, I went out and I bought a gallon of milk. I had it in a plastic bag. I came back in, and I gave this guy a plastic bag with milk in it. When he opened that bag, eyes looked like that was like $1 million. And it crumbled all my preconceptions that people have told me about the word bum. I removed the word bum from my vocabulary, and I've never spoken it since until this moment. And I picked up the word homeless or home insecure or anything that would never berate another person with assumptions of what brought a person to a humble position where they no longer have roof overhead. So, but at the same moment, I realized that what was $1.50 in my pocket was a treasure in his pocket, in his hands. And it changed me, folks. And so what I'm telling you is, please stop judging what you have to give, because once we give, we remember how rich we are. So that is the first part of the thing. I just went off. Woo! So the message is, please stop waiting to be perfect, people, and grow on mission, in purpose, and you are rich in how you are right now, and give that gift away. Give the gift that is you. I hope you see yourself being received as a gift, because that is in itself the momentum and the fuel. The second thing I have for you today, beautiful people, is give from where you're rich. Everybody's asking for your time. Everybody's asking for your money. It's mostly not the areas where most of us are abundant right now. And so a lot of times we feel squeezed because we can't give from where people are asking us to give from. What I want to do is I want to widen the buffet table. God made each one of us, the divine made each one of us one of a kind with an individual way in which we're meant to shine. And in that shining, we have something that is overwhelmingly abundant in us. It could be creativity. It could be music. It could be art. It could be speaking. It could be teaching. It could be anything, folks. It's limitless. And so what I want to speak to you is, please figure out where you are abundant and give from that. And let yourself off the hook for when you have to say no because a person's asking you to give in a way that's not your rich spot. That could be okay. That you can conserve that for yourself as you're continuing to make an overflow within. But it doesn't mean you don't have something to give. And that when we're building true community, we're building it around what you are rich in. And that's where you will overflow naturally, and everything will get covered. Everything will get covered. Those are my two. Those are my two pieces for today, Betsy. I think there's a third. Spark it. What's the third? You've been hearing me talk forever, and I'm a little...
Well, I just got out of that last one about giving where you have overflow, because I think it's true. I think that so many of us, we look at what someone else needs, right? And they're asking for us to give from a specific place. And even if we feel like we don't necessarily have that exact thing to give in that moment, we think, oh, well, that's what's needed here. Let me contort myself or pull from my reserves in order to accommodate that, right?
Yes, exactly.
But then we just end up depleting. And it's interesting because I work for my aunt, and she's been talking about the topic of sustainability lately, and she's been talking about giving from your saucer instead of your cup. That
Yes.
you allow the cup to run over onto the saucer, and that's where you give from. You don't give and give and give from the cup until it's empty, because it's a slippery slope. You think you can give just this much from your cup, and before you know it, you've given the whole cup. But I just that hit home for me about not giving what you don't necessarily have in spades.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's so beautiful, and thank you for concretizing the idea of it, because that's exactly what it is. And I hear people questioning, like, well, what if I don't know what I'm overflowing in, And I tell people two concrete things: follow your passion, pain. They so ironically go hand in hand. The thing that pisses you off the most is often the flip side of the thing that excites you the most.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll talk for my love, Betsy here. Can I just tell you your business? It's good business.
Sure.
But like when you talk about uplifting women, you're going to see a passionate woman, right? Anything about uplifting women is going to light Betsy up. And anything about disempowering women is going to piss her the hell off. Like she's going to get riled up. So It's the same energy force. It's just the shadow and it's the bright and the blind spot, in our culture. So if you don't know where you're overflowing, look to where your passion is and look to where the pain and the primer for your rage, for your frustration goes. I promise you're going to see that there's two sides of a coin. And the one thing people don't know is that we know that too much of anything is no good for us. And so for those out there that, like me for years, people, I was overflowing with my gifts and I had nothing to give them into. And so I was beginning to drown in my own abundance. Mm-hmm. It was like, I like to give the analogy of what if Santa Claus had all those elves working and then the sled breaks and he can't deliver the toys and the elves are doing what the elves do, producing toys. Soon the North Pole will become a nightmare, it would be like a hoarder.
The land of overflowing toys.
Overflowing toys would be coming out of the chimney of his cabin, because you got to give it away. It's a gift. It's a gift. So release the valve. Please release the idea of perfection. We're here to make progress. We're here to make progress. And you can start today by sharing something that you learned with someone you love. Sharing like, man, this is something that has been bringing me joy, has been bringing me more freedom. This has been giving me more ability to stay in my love, my compassion, my care, my pride, my self-respect, my self-worth longer. There is not a single person on earth right now that isn't looking for more tools to do everything I just said. So if you have a tool, even half-baked, share it. Maybe your half-baked and my half-baked makes a full dish. And we make penicillin,
Yeah. I think you made a good point, though, because I think a lot of people don't actually realize where they're overflowing or where they have extra to give because they're just resourced in that area,
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of times we don't notice when things are well and in balance. We notice when they're off,
Yes.
But you talk about that in the frame, too, about using anger as a guide. That I think a lot we're taught that anger is bad. But anger is a sign. It's a message. It's telling you something, that there's something here that you're passionate about. There's a boundary that's being crossed that means something to you that's important.
Yeah.
And if you pay attention, it can be a guide pointing you in a specific direction. But we don't often notice when something's not wrong.
Yeah,
So,
it's so true. Even when we heal, there's two things. When we heal, it's so quickly we forget what being in pain felt like, and so then we don't celebrate the triumph. as much,
Mhm.
which is the fuel for the next time. And talking about anger or upset or anything you're feeling that we've been told to make wrong, someone shared with me that every emotion can be a good emotion if you turn it into a right action. You can have an angry thought, but if you do something beautiful, like if Betsy gets pissed off about women, or she takes that energy and does something beautiful for a woman, then that was a great feeling. If she takes that anger and spins out, or if anyone does, we're not picking or lifting up any. This is the human condition.
Me. If I do it, only me.
Exactly. This will work for Betsy. Try it, and I hope it works for you too. No, this is a human condition, people. The misunderstanding was the experience we were all given. So our experiences are nuanced by our own life and our community and the people in it, and the area we live. But in reality, the overlap is large. And so our liberation is a group project. And that's what this is about. Our liberation is a group project, man. We all have a piece of the key. And we put that sucker together, and we set everyone free. Ooh, I think I have poetry there, too.
Yeah.
So, beautiful people, I hope you heard something of meaning. Betsy, thank you for holding down the fort. I'm going to jump back on the road and get back, but I'm so happy to be here with you. And, please let us know how this bounces off your heart. Even your feedback of if you got something brings more. And if you have a way that you found your passion or your overflow, share that with us so we can share that with the world.
Yeah.
All right. La Batista, the people's preacher. I'm out, people. Have a beautiful, magical day. Remember that you matter. What you came here to do matters, and you're changing the world just by staying in your love, staying in your grace, staying in your compassion. In itself is a massive, massive ripple into the goodness of time. So I love you, and we appreciate you, and we'll see you next time with Wake Up at Love.
All right, beautiful people. Thank you for listening. If you were moved by what you heard today, you know what to do. Like it, share it, spread the love around. Until next time,